But yeah, we're going to go to the first round now. It just starts off with Team Infused. They're going to be going for an aggressive boost up mid as well. 3 of the players actually get boosted up, but a really aggressive push coming in from CAZ. So aggression meets aggro here. And let's see who comes out on top. I mean, Team Infused, they're somewhat waiting for it. You've got Robin and Boaster. They pushed through Squeaky. They didn't manage to get a lot of information here. I think at this point, actually, they might be thinking it's that B player. And well, it is going to be going on in as they get plenty of information from that push. Connor goes in with one on a Jacob. That's going to start things off. Cryptics from CT is going to do good damage, but isn't able to make those shots land just yet. And so that one-man advantage is still going to be going the way of Team Infused as the trade doesn't come in. Bomb's going to be going down over towards the B site now, and it does get planted in a very timely fashion. And, well, now, CAZ, they are on the clock. They've got to make something happen here. Robin is able to start things off, but he's going to get taken down by Aaron, and it's all going to fall on a check. Cryptics in the blink of an eye. Cryptics, the last hope for CAZ Esports. Why was that so hard for me to say? And, yep, Team Infused, they're going to be picking up the first round over on the T side. So a nice strategy there, the boost up mid and then, you know, flanking into B.
Yeah, I mean, it allowed them to get into B without really being noticed, and as soon as they take that first man down on site, there's not a huge amount anybody else can do. I mean, Cryptics was there, but he ate a flashbang. He ate a flashbang full stop, couldn't see anything, had to fall off, and then they just secured the site and held it well. Not a huge amount more to say, and I doubt we're going to be seeing too much to speak of this round, although it is CAZ on Pistol's second round, so there's always that slight chance we're going to have something magical happen, and they're going to be coming straight back into it to make sure that they make their way to the grand finals and the stage.
Yeah, I know. I mean, either one of these teams I feel would be a very apt opponent for XPC, and I think it's going to be an exciting game either way. That's all to come today at about 4 o'clock if you want to stick around for that. But going into this now, Team Infused, they're looking to put their mark in very early on as they take Jacob down to 22 HP and Shaq over in mid down to 7. That's going to win the mid controllers as a result, so they get a good bit of bounty there for their prize. And, you know, seizing control of mid that early on, finding one on the Jacob, that does, of course, mean that they've got a lot of ground now. When you've got mid control on Cash, you can basically split to A or B. You're heading through CT spawn. There's a lot of options for you. And, well, Team Infused are definitely not short of choices, but B is going to be the port of call here as all 5 Team Infused members are only pushing on in. Now, it's actually the worst call they could have made. There's going to be 3 players here, all with the exception of Cryptics. Chak's going to get taken down. Connor's going to be going in as he picks up 2. Boaster tries to make the trade happen. Isn't going to get taken down as well. Robin in with 1, but Connor playing it huge, managing to take down all 3 players there over towards that B site. And now it's all going to fall on a Cryptics as he rotates in off of A. I mean, 1 versus 3, all he's got is that 5-7. It just wasn't meant to be. Connor completes the 4K, and that does mean the second round on the board now for Team Infused. Not as clean, I think, as they would have liked.
Not as clean as they would have liked, but they got it, and that's, I mean, that's good enough at this stage, you know? They got it, they took some losses, but they are going to manage to continue to go on with 3 rifles in this round. Well, sorry, 3 AKs, I should say. Galil, a UMP, and full utility. And this is just going to be the one where they make their money. This is the round where they are going to be stacking up on that cash because they've just got pistols to deal with. And you can already see the USP should not be doing a huge amount, especially seeing as 4 of them are in mid.
Yeah, no, it's Splinter Cell in mid right now with the USPs all chiming on in. And, well, Sam Fisher's got no place in Counter-Strike, I'm afraid, as Jacob's going to get taken down. They do manage to find one on Aaron, so, I mean, you know, no investment into this round. They've done a little bit of damage, which is, you know, what they would ideally be looking for. Now, the rest of them still playing that mid area. They're contesting, of course, with Weber. Now, Weber's done a 34 HP, so if he sticks around in mid, he could potentially get taken down, and that's even more bang for their buck over for the CAZ side. Now, Weber is going to be able to pick up 1. He's going to go for 2, and he makes it 2. Now, it's all going to fall on a Robin here. 1 versus 4. He's got an AK in hand, and I think he's just going to be looking to try and save that if he can.
Yeah, it's a little bit more money to take through. It's not going to be anything too impressive, but obviously at this point in the game, every little will be helping. And actually, he's going to be doing more economic damage with it as well, so he decides that he's going to try and fall back, but he doesn't put himself in an angle where he's going to be entirely safe. Obviously, to try and take a bit more away from them. In the end, that means he drops. Still, not the biggest issue. He's still got money. He's still going to be able to get the M4 up. He's still going to have utility to work with. And overall, their team's still going to be in a good position. Boaster, I think, going to be a little bit lacking on the nades, but apart from that, actually pretty strong considering, and it gives CAZ that good potential to get back in round number 4 and start taking something. Unfortunately for them, that well, that advantage, that sort of attempt is thwarted entirely as they push towards being flashed themselves. Disastrous.
Yeah, no, I don't think that was exactly the flash they were hoping for. But, I mean, you know, they tried, and we can go give them a little trophy that says you tried, at least, with that play. It's going to go 3-0 currently, and it is the first rifle buy, so arguably one of the more important rounds. It kind of sets the pace for the rest of the game. If CAZ take this, then, you know, they can kind of be in control a little bit of their finances, put Team Infused onto a fairly weak buy if they do decide to buy into the next round, which they would do. And, yeah, I mean, they could kind of sort the flow out how they want it to be. Whereas if Team Infused win, they take it to 4. CAZ will be down onto yet another eco round. And, well, you know, then you risk starting to run away with it. So CAZ, they do need to get this round on the board. But looking at this aggression in mid from Aaron, he might be able to find one in a boast here. But a quick flick there coming in is going to drop the T-side player and stop him in his tracks. Now, B, once again, is going to be the site in question. Molotov goes out into checkers. No one's going to be found by that just yet. But there are 4 CAZ esports players here to try and hold this down. Robin over towards the site is going to be the man of the hour who is to try and hold this up along with Cryptics. Now they have a nice crossfire set up. Jacob from CT is going to get 1. He gets 2. He's finally going to get taken down by Weber. But Robin chiming even one of his own over from the site. They've walked into the meat grinder here. And well, Weber, he's just going to count his blessings and try to run away. Keep that off and just save it for another day. And, well, you know, some things they're just not meant to be. And Shaq is actually going to hear him out in mid, so it's curious to see whether or not they'll go hunting here. I mean, you know, they don't have a lot of time. The only person who's really close enough is Shaq. He's not going to go for it. They want to keep their economy, you know, in good standing. It was a clean round, so I can't say I blame them. Only Jacob falling, so they should be able to start to build a fairly healthy economy here.
Yeah, I mean, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. That's exactly why they didn't hunt. They found themselves their first round. They're not going to be comfortable on the money just yet, or at least not as comfortable as they'd like, and they're still in that precarious position where one round loss could spell disaster. So keeping hold of everything they have is a great thing to do. Obviously, it's one man with an AWP Weber. Maybe they wouldn't have been able to get it back up, but at any rate, he only had $400. He's not going to be the biggest threat possible. And as a whole, Team Infused are actually looking fairly weak into this round. We've got 1:30 left on the clock, and their utility is, well, sparse.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult to orchestrate any sort of organized push, which I think is why you see them going for picks. You see Aaron in mid just looking around, hoping somebody's going to be peeking him, hoping he can get a frag based off early aggression from CAZ, but they're just not giving it right now. These guys are so happy being passive. They're so patient, and it means that at some point Infused are just going to have to decide to do something a little bit aggro themselves and kickstart this one off. And personally, I don't think that's what they want to be going for right now.
Yeah, no, not at all. You've got Robin. He's going to get taken down, actually playing that sort of, you know, highway area, floating in between A and mid, and he's going to get punished for that by Weber. The nade stack early on in the round actually does take down Aaron and Connor very, very low. So as a result, there's a little bit of consolation in it there for CAZ Esports. But I mean, the push down now into mid, coming out from Aaron. We've seen him do some fairly good things from this position in the past. So can he make magic happen once again? Weber's going to be peeking out with the AWP now, and he's going to be trying to start things off. He actually just tagged Cryptics down through the warhead.
It's an angle you can. It's an angle you can spam.
Yeah,
it just doesn't do much. And he found that out, and unfortunately it does mean that he doesn't find the frag, and CAZ still have a chance to hold on. 2 versus 3, it's not going to be perfect, but Jacob was almost in the position to find himself a couple and start to close it out. Instead, it's going to be Boaster in the 1 versus 2, both of them sitting fairly low on HP, but unfortunately he gets boxed in, 1 on either side, and he just can't look around quick enough. Doesn't end up finding either of the frags, and that does mean we're going to be seeing CAZ reset back down just like that. 1 round on the board and they're back to the pistols. Are we going to be seeing another sort of James Bond round in mid, you know? 5 silenced weapons sitting there. Apparently not.
No,
we're getting Deagles out instead. This, at least it's going to be a little bit more interesting. It's still not going to be pretty, and I still very much doubt they're going to be able to do a huge amount with it.
Yeah, no, I'm skeptical, but CAZ Esports have shown that with the Deagles, their aim is true. And they might be able to make something happen in that regard. Now, Pulse is going to be watching for this B play here, and he might be able to find one in a Jacob as he's getting a little bit too confident for himself, pushing up there towards B. Jacob opting now actually just to fall back, play that passive angle, but you know, he's in a kind of danger area where he could potentially go for the push. Aaron's going to find another one now on a Boaster in mid. So now mid is just completely open and ripe for the taking. Jacob's thinking about B, but the flash is going to come in just to thwart that and push him back. And once again, Aaron here, probably one of the strongest forces we've seen so far in this game, and he's been quite quiet and absent from the other ones, I feel. Now kind of coming into his own. He's taken mid-control almost single-handedly every round, and then is using it to exert the pressure onto both A and B. Shaq's going to be watching out for it now as Aaron, once again, going for his famed mid-play here. Will he be able to line this shot up as he pushes up towards the site? He does so. He manages to complete the hat trick. That's going to be 3 on the board for him now. And well, it's all going to fall into Jacob, the lone B player, to rotate in and try and see what he can do. Aaron over by Car. He completes it for the 4th. And I don't know if he can hear me right now, but maybe it's because I said he was absent. Now he's just he's showing up to this game in a fairly big way. Looking at the scoreboard right now, 9 kills on the board for him. Connor coming in at 2nd place with 7 over on Team Infused side. And, well, I mean, let me just, yeah, Aaron nearly has more kills. Well, no, he doesn't. I was going to say nearly has more kills than all the CAZ, but that's not true. I can't give him that. I'm sorry, Aaron. You've been playing all right, but I can't give you that much credit.
No, he's trying to get there, though. It's up to CAZ to make sure that's not going to be happening, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like Jack's going to be contributing too much to that. Although, as I say, he manages to find one despite the Molotov burning away at his feet. He does end up dying to it in the end, though, so it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, which obviously, as the CT side, you're not going to be looking for, you're not going to be favoring. So, slight advantage to Infuse to start this one out, and it's exactly what they're going to be looking for. They love that. They get the mid presence, they take the player out there, they secure it, they scare CAZ off a little bit. They get the small advantage, and it means that they have more room to move around, more room to find themselves a push onto a site, and sort of less reason to have advanced strategies. It is exactly how they've been playing this map time and time again, and it works out perfectly once more. CAZ just don't seem to be able to respond. Every round, somebody gets taken out mid, and the other 2 sites just can't hold up to it.
Yeah, well, the issue is you give up that mid presence, not only then you're a player down, but you've given up probably the most important area in the game, because it just allows you know, Team Infused to exploit the extra avenues of approach that they get. You either get Vents control, you get CT control, or you take Highway. And well, Connor's going to start things off, showing that they don't necessarily need mid to get their advantageous plays in. And oh, through the smoke, he gets 1 on a Cryptix as well. So things are looking very good for Team Infused here. Jacob actually going for a hyper-aggressive play there. Is going to get punished for it by Pulse over towards the site. And now the plant's going to be coming in for a main. Boaster, alone, scared, naked and confused. I don't know about the naked bit, but I mean, he's definitely the other handful of
I mean, I doubt he's naked. He's over there somewhere.
Is he? Well, then if he's naked, that's going to be one hell of a game. But yeah.
Dear.
So Boaster is going to be the last left alive here, 1 versus 4, and he's just looking to hold on to this M4. When you look at the economy of Team Infused, it's, you know, fairly competent, so it wouldn't surprise me if they go hunting for him, which they are going to be doing now. So Boaster, good luck, buddy. You've got to try and hold off against 4 very angry Englishmen. So, you know, good luck there. Try your hardest.
Well, I mean, he's not really going to have to try too hard at all. Infused have no real chance of getting to him in this round. He's done quite a good job of just sitting on the other side of the map. There's not too much to go for, honestly, and it means he's going to be taking the M4 through, but how much is that going to be doing in this round? You've got a question. The rest of the team just going to be sitting there backing him up with P250s and 1 single solitary HE, a smoke and a Molotov saved, and an HE there on Chak. So it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be far from it. Hopefully the M4 is going to come into use, because if Infused decide to leave B alone, then he's essentially going to be the 1-man retake squad, and it's not going to be going well that time, or in that situation.
Yeah, you know, they've only got the rifle on him, and he's been playing towards this B site, so let's see what he can get done there. The remaining Team Infused players are actually heading over towards that B site, so a fairly good choice to stick Boaster here with the M4. Bomber's going to be making its way in. Jacob over towards Headshot's going to get tagged down very, very low. Now the rotate should be underway. You've got Robin going in for a long flank through Squeaky Door. Jacob gets dropped towards the site. Boaster's able to pick up 1, but now he's being boxed in. Aaron gets another. Chak from Heaven's able to get that trade frag in there. So it does go 3-3 with CAZ Esports. Doing good damage into this round. They do lose the rifle and the armor. Robin does go for this long flank now. It might be able to pay off for him as he takes 1 onto Connor. So now it's going to go in 3-on-2. 1-man advantage towards CAZ, with the potential for them to take this retake here if they can trade into it. Not with peaks like that, though, as Aaron does find 1 on a Chak. It's going to be Robin versus Cryptix here. And well, Cryptix gets taken down. Robin versus Aaron, 1 versus 1. 2 very, very talented players here. And he might be able to land the shot. Robin does get it. And I think he might actually just have enough time to defuse that as well. So that is going to be... Oh, it's going to be close. It is going to be close. Oh, it's all good. Yeah, God. So the second round is going to go on the board of CAZ Esports. It's going to go 2-6 as they attempt to close the gap between, between I can't even talk now. This guy's talking behind me on the Twitch stage. Now, mate, do you want to stop? Yeah, the score is going to go 2-6. 4 rounds between these two teams now, and they are planning to try and get their third on the board here with this rifle buy.
Yeah, obviously trying to catch up is going to be, well, important, but also extremely difficult for these guys, as Team Infused did put some distance down at the beginning, and as well as that, they've only managed to find 2 rounds, and both of them have been in isolation so far. So again, it's going to be one where CAZ need to win. They need to find themselves the second round straight. They need to find themselves a little bit of security in terms of the economy and just push through to see what they can get done in total. And I know what you mean about the Twitch stage now. Either way, the teams are going to be continuing, and we're going to be seeing Infused trying to work something out towards the A side of the map at the moment. The issue is they've not found anything in mid this round. Weber is holding it with the AWP, so there's the chance they're going to be able to take themselves frag there if somebody gets aggressive, but they've not gone aggressive themselves. They've not secured that control that they seem to have been relying on, and it means we might be seeing something completely different out of these guys.
Yeah, potentially. A nice Molotov there to force Robin out of the vent area. Does mean that they sacrificed a lot of that control that they did have. Of course, now you don't have any mid presence either. And once again, Team Infused, they get mid control, and it wouldn't surprise me if we see familiar face Aaron probably going to play off of that. We've seen him take mid time and time again, and that Molotov is going to allow him and Weber to push out into mid. Now, the remaining 3 Infused players that are going to be utilized over towards B for this split play. Robin's going to be caught rotating off, and they think it could be A, but he does find one on a corner, and anyway, Boaster gets one of his own. It's all going to fall on a pulse here towards the site. His team are rotating on in. Robin does get a second onto Aaron there through the, well, a clippy bit. I don't know what you'd call that. Just a bit of metal, really. And then Jacob comes in at the end with one on a Weber. It's going to go 3-6 now, and 3 rounds is all that separates these two teams. And, well, I mean, you know, CAZ, they're starting to build a good bit of money up on their side.
I mean, they're at least in that position where they can manage to buy 2 rounds in a row, which I guess is good. You know, 2 wins in a row, 2 rounds in a row, something that they can make work for themselves. And Team Infused are actually going to be feeling the burn a little bit now. Pulse down to the Deagle, Weber down to the Galil. And they're sort of at the end of the rope as far as money's concerned. And another round loss is going to be putting them even further in that situation if it does indeed happen. And at the moment, it's not looking too unlikely. The early damage definitely favoring CAZ in this situation. And again, Infused having trouble setting up that presence that we've seen rely on so far. Again, nobody in mid, they're not even trying to push it. And I think it's because CAZ have really reinforced it recently. You can see Robin's gone there dedicated, holding extremely close. So anybody tries to push, they're going to be caught entirely by surprise. And it's just, I don't know, a great thing for CAZ to do. They adapted to how Team Infused were playing. And it's looking like it's allowing them to find themselves some more CT rounds. Now, though, it's Team Infused's turn to adapt. And there is every chance we're going to see them go for something a little bit more dedicated towards A, which honestly I don't think we've seen enough of yet. There's been a heavy presence towards the B site. Maybe if they go A, it will catch CAZ a little bit by surprise, get them that 1 round they need, and they can start snowballing from that. Either that or they could send Aaron out mid again.
Yeah, it seems to be working for them. Shaq wasn't there to trade, and well, he finally comes on through, does find that kill onto Aaron, but they've already got Weber there as well to assist Aaron, picks up that trade frag and maintains that 1-man advantage for Team Infused. Now they've still got mid-presence as well in the form of Weber as he takes down Jacob with a wonderful long shot from the Galil. Cryptic's on site though, he's the thorn in their sides as he takes down 2 players, does drop the bomb, 20 seconds left, and Weber and Connor have got to do something. Boast is rotating on in. Cryptic's manages to get the hat-trick as he takes down Weber, going to get traded down by Connor, and it's going to go 1 versus 1. Boaster versus Connor here. Bomb's going to get planted. It gets planted safe as well. He doesn't know where Boaster's coming from. He has very little information. And, well, Boaster's pretty much got all the information he would need when he sees that bomb is going to be planted safe. He hasn't seen him cross to A main, so he should know that he's going to be playing around this site somewhere. Time's ticking, though. Boaster does have that kill, so that's going to buy him the extra 5 seconds. Slowly pushing his way in. He spots out Connor. He tags him down to 50 HP, so now he's got all the information he needs. Molotov's going to go in to force Connor out of position, but he goes for it and he lands the shot. Boaster falls, and with him, so does the opportunity at a 4th round for CAZ. It's going to go 3-7, and Team Infused, they're looking to start to extend their lead once again.
Yeah, and once again, they have the perfect circumstances to do it. CAZ, 1 round lost, they're back down to the pistols. They don't have the money to sustain themselves, and unfortunately, they haven't been able to show... You know, they haven't been able to show the rounds to get that economy going, so USPs being brought out here, Deagles, P250s. very limited utility and one set of armor. It's going to be a far from perfect round. I doubt we're even going to be seeing too much damage done. Connor's going to be starting off for Team Infused. Finds himself Robin trying to get aggressive through Squeaky and makes very short work of him indeed. Pulse going to be finding Boaster as well in this round to make sure that things go well. So 3 frags coming in for Team Infused right off the bat, and it's Jacob and Shaq left. Both towards the A site, but both really in a position where they're not going to have any real impact on the round. Yes, Connor might die. Yes, that might be something. But they're not going to be stopping the bomb going down, and they're not going to be winning it. At this point, Jacob's there for economic damage and economic damage alone, and at least he's going to manage a little bit of that. Finds himself one, falls back, and just going to be tapping away with that P250, hoping he can find more and more. 2 frags come out of it in the end. It looked like he might have been able to find himself a third, but it just didn't happen. So it's another one on the board for Infused. Another one lost for CAZ, and they're finding themselves in a position where realistically they need to make a streak. They need to be able to find themselves round after round in a row at this point, because 8-3, if they just trade them back and forth, like at the moment, we're going to be seeing, what, 10-5 as the final scoreline, and that is definitely not impossible, but also definitely not ideal on this map.
Yeah, not at all. A strong mid presence actually coming out early on from CAZ here. Does mean that the trades are going to be going favorably for them as Cryptix takes down 2 of his own. He's going to be looking for the third. He's done great damage on O'Connor, and he's been such a key player right now for CAZ Esports as he looks to hold A and mid. He finds one on a Mighty Max 2, and he's looking to make it 4. Connor is going to be the last hope for Team Infused here. He's rotating in through A main, but at this point, the rotate's already over towards A. Boaster's going in for the long flank, and well, Connor's going to be able to get one on a Cryptix. So now it's going to be a 1 versus 1 over towards the site. Boaster going for this long flank, realizes the error of his ways, and he's just going to have to usurp that in through mid. Trying to rectify that issue, because of course otherwise you leave it into a series of 1 versus 1s, which would leave the advantage in towards Connor. He's going to get tagged down to 33 HP. Now both CAZ Esports players here to trade for this, so potentially they should be able to take this fairly easily. Connor's going to get one, and it's Jacob comes on in from the side, does manage to drop him, and it's going to go 4-8. Still in favor of Team Infused, but CAZ, they managed to post another round on the board. But like you say, they can't keep trading it back and forth like this. They need to string some rounds together.
And with rounds like that, they're not putting themselves in a good place to do it. Fortunately, after a while, Team Infused do find themselves with a lower economy, so they can't get the full buyout. But look at the money CAZ had going into this round. They survived with 1 player left alive off the back of a buy that took a lot of what they had. And I mean, it just leaves them in a bad place indeed. And you're quite right. Oh my god, this round's going to be starting off badly for them as well, as Weber finds a fantastic shot to open things up.
Yeah, no one saw that coming. Not even Weber. He just, shoots through a smoke, finds a head, and Robin's going to get taken down as a result. Shaq is going to be playing a position mid. They've rotated Jacob as well in from the B site, so they're still focusing on a very mid-centric play here from CAZ Esports, which I feel like is a nice bit of adapting to the strategic mindset of Team Infused. However, we're going to be seeing Jacob actually rotating up onto that A site now, leaving Shaq all by himself in towards mid. Which, Team Infused haven't shown too much interest in mid this round, but as Weber starts to head over towards boost, it wouldn't surprise me as he gets boosted on up. You've got Weber to support. So Aaron and Webster looking like they're going to be taking mid. Now you've got the remaining CAZ Esports players, 3 of them up towards A, 1 over towards B. It's going to be Boaster left by himself, just trying to play for the information. He'll be able to hear things. And well, as Vents do get mollied, the rotate's going to head down from that A site. It's going to be Jacob and Shaq. They fall back, counting their blessings here. Shaq trying to put some damage down towards Highway. Isn't able to find anything just yet. A little bit of damage on the Aaron, but that's about it. Now, all 5 Team Infused players, 25 seconds left over towards this A site. They've got to go for it. Boost comes in. Cryptix finds one. He's looking for a second. He does the damage. Shaq's there as well. And well, there we go. In the blink of an eye, they only managed to lose 1 player in the push onto that site there. That's going to be Cryptix falling. And well, CAZ, they managed to mop that round up. It's going to go 5-8, and that's their 2nd round in a row.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how a totem pole works, but I'm pretty sure they were using one to channel energy there. They had the boost going on, but they didn't use it for a second, and yet somehow it still worked out for them. And as you say, it gives them another round. It gives them a 2nd in a row. It gives them a chance to build on what they already had, and it takes Team Infused down to the very basics. They're working with pistols, no armor, no nades. It's a round that realistically we shouldn't even see them get a sniff at a site, as CAZ can and potentially will just mow them down as they come in. No real issue, no questions asked. Put a 6th on the board and at least secure that 6-9 scoreline. From that point, there's also the potential of 8-7 and just about the most even half possible, in which case CAZ are in a good position to start their T-side off and come back into it. And I'd quite enjoy seeing that, and it looks like we might be seeing that afterwards. CAZ have just shut this round down entirely as expected. But yeah, if we see this one go close, if we see this one go all the way, it is going to be essentially the best case possible, because this is the matchup everybody's watching today. We've said it before, I'm going to say it again. I am quite happy we get to see this one go across 3 maps and have 2 of the maps come as close as they look like they might.
Yeah, I mean, a 6-8 scoreline, potential for it to go either 9-6 or 7-8. Probably the most even scorelines you could hope for on Cash. Robin with that boost in mid is going to find one on the Mighty Max to start things off for CAZ. That's going to, try and slow down the push, but it's not too much as the rest of the team Infused. They do make their way out. That smoke's going to block off any sort of presence in towards Z, so they do get mid for their troubles. And well, now they've got to decide what they're going to do with it. Do they head down towards B? They have got Connor up in towards A main. But I mean, with how the rest of these players are kind of looking right now, with a minute 20 left on the clock, I'm starting to think that they might see what they can do over towards A. Maybe if Weber can pick himself up a kill, then it'll be the site they decide to hit. But Aaron is going to find one before getting traded down by Cryptics over towards that A site. So a 1-for-1 trade isn't really what they wanted. And, at this point, 55 seconds left on that clock. Looks like A is going to be the site in question as Bomb starts to head over towards there. Connor's up into A main as well, and Cryptics is going to be the man to try and hold this one off.
Yeah, and he is in a hell of a position to do just that. Going to be watching there from MBK, hoping he can catch them if they come out. If they don't expect it, he's going to be great. But Weber's coming in from Highway, and that has got to be something. If he can catch Jacob out, he's buying his team a little bit more free passage onto the side. But instead, he's going to find Cryptics from behind. No chance for the man to do anything. And Jacob's completely neutralized as he tries to deal with the closest threat. Can't find either of the players crossing onto site, and essentially allows that bomb to go down. We will see the Molotov do the damage. We will see Pulse drop, but that's the bomb already there. And Team Infused set up where they need to be. Now it's up to Boaster. If he can deal with Connor, then there's definitely that chance. But Connor leaves just in time. Still going to be dealt with by Chak instead, and it's going to be Weber as the last man alive. 1 versus 3. Definitely not in the best position possible, but having to play for it as it's the last round. Seeing what he can do, and unfortunately in the end it's going to come down to a USP to take him out. And it is going to indeed be a 7-8 scoreline at halftime. The most even thing we could have seen. The scoreline where we're going to be seeing it go the furthest, essentially. And exactly what I wanted, personally. And now it's all a matter of where we're going to be seeing it go this half. Are Team Infused going to be able to hold up on their CT side? We've been talking about earlier, we've seen them have issues with it on other maps.
Yeah.
Is it going to be looking strong here, or are they going to be crumbling due to obvious pressures of playing with people you might not be entirely used to?
Yeah, no, I mean, like you say, it is quite a worrying prospect in that regard. And the advantage that CAZ obviously have is the fact they are like a pre-made team coming into this up against Team Infused. And they've allowed the scoreline to get fairly close. And I feel like the T side would have been a naturally advantageous position for Team Infused to be in. So I would have liked to have seen them maybe get a few more rounds on the board there. And it was looking really strong in the early stages of that, but CAZ, they came in, they actually did manage to adapt, and at first I think we were both thinking maybe it was a little bit late on for them to have finally caught on to the mid plays. But they did so in the end, and that's all that matters. Now we're only going into the first round of the second half. 7-8 is the scoreline currently. 1 round is all that separates these two teams, so the most even scoreline we could have hoped for. And, well, the potential for this match to go the distance. We are going to be seeing 3 Team Infused players pushing onto that B site very aggressively. They're going to get a lot of information off of this, but information's fairly meaningless if that bomb's already going to make its way out towards A, which Aaron is doing all he can to try and hold it back. Now they are just going to be waiting, and, well, the information off of this push that they did manage to get might not be that useful if they don't decide to commit to anything. I mean, it looks like it was going to be A, but then you've got... They're all just kind of waiting around for the time being. A minute 20 left on the clock. They could go anywhere.
I mean, at the moment, they're trying to fake it out. I think they've dropped those smokes into mid, took that control, throwing the flashes out as well, and trying to basically bait Team Infused into thinking that it is going to be an aggressive B play, whilst 3 of their players are just stacked up in squeaky working. And for the most part, it's actually been entirely successful. Aaron's still there, however, to try and hold them off. Unfortunately for Infused, he is just going to be taken down, though. Boaster doing a wonderful thing there, and essentially securing them that site, allowing them to get the bomb down and giving them the position that they so desperately wanted. On top of that, they've still got Robin in mid from the initial fake. So as these CTs come in for the retake, he can drop in through Highway, come in from behind, and start doing the damage by surprise, essentially.
Yeah, and well, it all came down to Robin then, and as good as that mid position was from him, and the positioning could have came in handy, I feel like the push came in a little bit too late, and it meant that he couldn't actually trade with his team. Boaster had to try his hardest over the Wars quad to not die and just play the angles, but getting pushed by that many CTs all at once is fairly terrifying. Now, it is going to go 7-9, and Team Infused, I don't want to give CAZ any leeway here. When you look at this buy, this is probably the most protective kind of buy we've seen. It's more or less a full rifle buy. You've got the UMP on Connor, but other than that, FAMASs and M4s across the board, and that's not something we've seen too much. Normally it is, you know, the SMG buy around about now to build the bank, but they don't want to chance it. They want to go for rifles. They want to go with what they know works. And CAZ, they did get that plant down, so they are going to be buying in the third round of the second half. Weber's going to find one in towards mid. Onto Robin, and well, Jacob tries to get the trade frag in, isn't able to do so as Weber finds him as well with that FAMAS, so just going to work in mid there to deny the mid presence. And Boaster and Cryptic slowly making their way in. I think they're really dedicated now to try to get this trade on Weber. He's going to get taken out of 13 HP as he gets the third. That's going to be the hat-trick done. He looks for the fourth, and he gets it. And this is the potential here for Weber to go hunting for an ace. Now, whether or not he does so, he's not. It is going to get stolen by Connor, so, you know, no celebrations just yet. But at 7-10, it's going to be the scoreline. 3 rounds between these two teams, and it's going to be the first rifle buy of the second half.
Yeah, the first rifle by the second half, always going to be an important factor, especially for CAZ. They did such a good job to come back into the last half. They did such a good job to get themselves back on form, put the best foot forward, and take it to the most even scoreline possible. And they got the bomb plant down in first round to make sure this one didn't get too far away from them either. So, you know, 7-10 still extremely recoverable. If they can take this round, then they can again put Infused on the back foot, force them back down onto maybe slightly downgraded weapons. There might be another buy left in them as they have held onto the FAMAS and the FAMASs and UMP actually. But still, it's going to be a great position for CAZ if they can make it work. That's if they can make it work. Right now though, it's not looking too bad. They've got themselves the positions in mid. They've got themselves heavy control of all of the map, and Team Infused haven't really got any information to work with. They've not been pushing, they've not been peeking, they've just been holding tight and hoping somebody runs into their line of sight, and I think it means we might see a little bit of surprise as CAZ attack this B bomb site.
Yeah, they haven't got any information, like you say, as to what CAZ's whereabouts are. And, well, 50 seconds left. That's it. The push is going to be coming on in now. Connor's playing this close angle, and he's not going to get checked. He does find one with the UMP. Nearly makes it 2. Is going to get traded out by Boaster. It's all going to fall in a pulse, and if he stays alive, he could delay the push long enough for his team to rotate on in. Weber from Heaven's going to be able to pick up 1. He jumps down. He makes it 2, but Boaster comes in with that trade frag. It's going to go into a 2-on-2, and it's all down to Aaron and Mighty Max to hold on to this now for the CT side. Shaq and Boaster do manage to make it to the site, albeit fairly beaten up and broken. It's going to get planted for Checkers, and Mighty Max coming in from behind does find one on a Boaster. Now it's all going to fall onto a 14 HP Shaq. Molotov goes in to force him out of position, and Aaron in from CT does manage to take him down. So it's going to go 7-11 here as Team Infused storm into that retake.
Just extremely, extremely unfortunate for CAZ, and honestly, just from start to finish, that bomb site was a little bit out of their control. I mean, on the initial push, Connor with the UMP got way more done than he should have been able to. He had the weaker weapon, and of course he did have that element of surprise, but when 2 players drop him from vents, one of them should be checking those angles. You shouldn't be leaving it completely open. And I mean, yeah, 1 frag may be excusable, trade it out quickly, but he almost got 2, so it's 1 frag and frankly a ludicrous amount of damage he was able to get done, putting a weapon that shouldn't really have been too helpful to great use, and obviously Team Infused managing to finish everything off and tie it up at the end. And it just means that we're going to be seeing them putting more and more distance between themselves and CAZ. The Tech 9's coming out this round, and already they are falling. Boaster goes down. Cryptic's though going to be coming in. Jacob as well, so they've managed to recover it. They've managed to recover that site, and now, again, it's going to be all about the retake. If Team Infused can make this work, I'm going to be quite surprised, actually, because realistically, even with the Tech 9s, they're on the right side for them. The B site is going to play into that. If the CTs try and come through, if Infused to try and make the retake work, it's a load of close angles where they're not really going to have a huge advantage as a result of the rifles. And I don't know, we could still see it fall apart. I'm not sure who to back here, but both of them definitely do have a look in.
Yep, if they can get these trades in, then it could go the way of CAZ easily, but Mighty Max starting one off and getting untraded, manages to make it 2. And then he gets a third as well before finally getting taken down by Cryptix. Weber comes on in from CT and just mops up the remaining CAZ Esport player. And the issue is now is they're even getting the bomb down. They're just being beaten on the retake, so it's not looking good here for CAZ. And I mean, the biggest issue I'm seeing right now for both of these teams, as a matter of fact, is that they're struggling playing each other, right? The games have been fairly close. And then when you look at how XPC did against both of these teams, we're talking, you know, very, very clean-cut games, 16-4, 16-3, you know, those sorts of scorelines. So, I mean, we did always say that both these teams have had to be playing on form today. Now, it does depend whether they're both playing really well, and that's why we're seeing these games being so close, or if they're both just playing, you know, their consistent level of CS. And, you know, will that be good enough to match up against XPC in the final? I don't know, but there we go. 7-12 is the scoreline. 5 rounds between these teams now, and CAZ, they are really clutching at straws as they try to stay in this.
Yeah, 100%. 7-12 is never going to be comfortable. They do have AKs up again. They do have another chance to make something happen. It's just every time they don't manage, we do see Infused pulling further and further ahead in terms of what rounds. Economy slightly, but not as much as maybe it could be. And I think just general mentality. I think the UK scene is one of those scenes, unfortunately, where a lot of the teams are quite momentum-based. If something goes wrong, they're going to be feeling it, and so they want things to be going right non-stop. And for Infused at the moment, things are going right. Obviously, things are going wrong at the same time, but they're at least picking the rounds up. There's been a lot of bomb plants, and CAZ can be happy about that, but they know that they have the retakes under control at this point. Still, this round, they're going to be trying to hold them off and doing a great job of it on the B side. Weber drops in, takes that chat. Cryptix and Jacob, though, going to be coming back through with some shots of their own. Pulse and Cryptix trading as well. And guess what? We're going to be seeing another bomb plant on B site and another even retake situation. So you pick your winner. Personally, at the moment, from what we've seen so far in this half, I'd say Infused definitely have a little bit of an edge. As well as that, Mighty Max still has some utility to burn through. They both have kits. It shouldn't be too difficult, although Mighty Max already goes down, so that utility not going to mean anything. Instead, it's Aaron relying on Cryptix's extremely low health to gain him that advantage, and indeed it does. Infuse pick up their 13th round. No real effort in it in terms of the retake. Obviously, it was a 1 versus 1 there, but Aaron looked comfortable throughout, and it's just looking like Infused are never scared, even in those tense situations, even in the moments where you'd think, you know, okay, CAZ might be able to take this now. They just don't seem to really be that bothered because already they're ahead. Their economy's pulling away, and CAZ just don't seem to be able to match it right now.
Yeah, no, they are definitely struggling as we are now into the 21st round. And while I don't even think they've managed to get around on the board, they've lost 5 in a row. Team Infused, on the other hand, looking stronger and stronger with every round we go into. It's going to be B once again in a last-ditch attempt to put a little bit of hurt in. Connor finds one. Boast is going to come in with a trade, so only a 1-man advantage towards Team Infused now as they continue blistering their way through onto this site. Bomb should be getting planted shortly, and a 3 versus 4. Probably the best numbers we've seen CAZ find themselves with in quite some time, but still a 1-man advantage over towards Team Infused. So what does that say about this? I mean, this is the best situation we've seen them in, arguably. And, you know, it's still not a very good one to be in at that. So retake is going to be coming in. Boaster gets tagged down to 38 HP through the doors there. And, well, Team Infused slowly but surely making their way into this site. They've got it surrounded. They're coming in from Team A as well as CT. But oh my god, in a flurry of frags. Just a whirlwind of death for CAZ Esports there as they managed to take down all of Team Infused in a matter of seconds.
I mean, honestly, not to sound too harsh, but it's about time we see a bomb plant turn into something.
Yeah, definitely.
In my brain, there's no situation where we should see 3 bomb plants in a row from a team and sort of see them unable to pick up any of them. And they had guns every single time. That round, they managed to make it work. Hopefully, we can see them make a little bit of a run of it because, again, Infused economy was still a little fragile. And it does mean we're going to be seeing pistols here. So it's more chance for frags, but if they lose, and even if they take losses that are a little bit too big for them, guess what? CAZ don't have the economy to back themselves up either. So this one really is going to be a make or break. Whoever wins it is going to be in a much better position. It's going to be a 2-for-1 round. And CAZ need it.
Yeah, and, well, you know, just cut down like dogs. Just, you know, drop left and right. It's going to go 8-14. A Team Infused 1 round away from taking this to match point. CAZ, on the other hand, struggling to stay in this. Their economy isn't going to be looking too great. I mean, when you look at it, they aren't able to buy into this round thanks to a little bit saved up from the previous victory in Bomb Plant, as well as the loss bonus they were having up until this point playing into effect. So they will be able to get a buy going into this round. They don't want to play for overtime. They're just going to be playing for the win. And, well, it's fairly interesting, actually. What you've got is... well, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing like Jacob pick up a UMP because I just think it's a nice gun to have in the game. But no, they're going to be sticking with 3 Tech 9s and 2 AKs across the board for CAZ, whereas Team Infused, they've got a very, very strong buy together here. Plenty of utility. And, well, for that reason, I think CAZ are just going to be looking to get out onto this A site fast as they can and make something happen with it. 3 players heading into Squeaky now. And, well, they're going to be setting on up. Left behind in mid, it's Chak and Jacob. And I'm curious to see what the plan is with keeping them there. Probably a mid split over onto A, which means they'll be facing off up against Weber, one of the fresh princes of mid.
Honestly, I am interested to see how CAZ are going to be playing this one out. They're heading into mid at the moment with the Tech 9s out. Weber should be able to shred them. Instead, he's forced to fall away because he can't quite spot them out into the smoke, and that might just be the catalyst that's needed. Robin comes into the A site, picks one up, but unfortunately for CAZ, Mighty Max finds 2 at the same time. So even as they manage to find themselves a site, the numbers aren't going to be too advantageous. They still have the disadvantage in terms of weapons, and it's just not a good way for them to be playing the remainder of this round. Jacob, though, is going to be dealing with Mighty Max, making sure they don't have that presence from behind to think about, and giving them more of an opportunity to get that bomb down and hold on to something for good. Robin going to be dealing with Pulse, and that leaves Connor left as the last man alive. 7 points of health, 2 players to deal with, and it's just not going to be possible. Apparently playing for the win is the right thing to do in that situation, as CAZ managed to find themselves on 9 rounds and managed to stave off that match point for just a little bit longer.
Yep, they are able to stay in this for 1 more round, so hopefully they can make something happen in this. And we could see one of the famed CAZ esports comebacks that we've seen come into fruition in the past, but let's see if that is anything that we have on the cards today. It is going to be looking like a mid-presence coming out here from CAZ as they do decide to boost, I believe it's 2 or 3 players up there. And, well, Bomb's going to be left in towards mid. It's just going to be lurking there for the time being. They want to play off of picks. They know that Team Infused are going to be down to pistols here, so they don't want to give them too much leeway. An aggressive play from Aaron up into Squeaky, though, is going to get them a lot of information. He's going to hear the players in A main. And, of course, if anyone heads through Squeaky, then that could be disastrous. A very strong position coming out from him. Robin in towards mid is going to be facing off up against Weber. If Weber decides to peek, ooh, the timing. He does good damage and just dodges that bullet there. Chak's going to be able to spot out Aaron on this push here, and he does so. He takes him down, so Aaron does lose that positional advantage. As a result, they also lose a player over towards that A site, so it is going to be weaker. And Pulse looking to fill Aaron's place here by slowly moving on in from behind. Jacob's going to be watching that angle, though, so it shouldn't be allowed to come into effect. Weber, 6 HP on mid. The Fresh Prince not looking so strong anymore. And, well, the one-man and weapon advantage currently going the way of CAZ Esports.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fair few advantages going the way at the moment. Health, players, potentially positioning, weapons, just absolutely everything, and they're going to be putting them all to great use. Max and Connor, though, do put up a little bit of a fight. They keep themselves in it for the time being and give Infused that little bit more of a chance to take the round. And even if that doesn't happen, they've definitely secured some economic damage. So, obviously never going to be perfect, especially as Pulse drops and it's Connor the last man left alive, but you know what? It's respectable. If you have a pistol and you do a little bit of damage, it's at least something. You've got something for your money instead of it just being wasted, and it means that we do see CAZ still actually a little bit tender in terms of economy. I mean, look at Robin, 850, Boaster 100. They're definitely far from perfect, and all it's really going to take is Infused to take 1 round at least if they manage to find a round when CAZ are low. And there's the potential there for them to find 2 in a row, take it just like that. And I think that's what they're trying for. The issue is, if you've got to buy pistols to get there, then finding that 1 round is going to be difficult.
Yeah, no, I know. The key thing is now is they don't want to get into a position where they start to throw it away right here at the last hurdle. And it is a danger that is very, very prominent right now. Well, I mean, CAZ, they're at this point now where they can start to get that economy building up, especially with these back-to-back ecos, meaning that if they manage to make this round nice and clean, then something can happen of it. Mighty Max pushed up into A main here. He's going to be playing this very, very close angle now. If they don't manage to spot him out, he might be able to do something, but Jack's going to come in, find him. Robin gets one as well. And that's going to open up that mid area for them. Shaq chimes in with a second one this round, and now it's all going to fall on O'Connor here to hold off the A site. Rotates coming in from Pulse. But I mean, Bomb's actually going back. It's heading down towards B. Jacob's got the information. He knows that no one's there, and at this point, Team Infused, they know that they've messed up, and they're trying to rectify it. Pulse gets taken down in towards the CT spawn. And well, now it's all going to fall onto Connor here, 1 versus 5. And that's a very, very quick and a very clean round for CAZ Esports, and that's just what they needed. Look at their economy now as it starts to build up. They'll be able to buy the next round or two if they do lose this. And, well, I mean, it gives them a little bit of a buffer. I mean, if they do lose anything, then they will be at map point and playing for overtime. But still, I mean, I reckon we're going to easily see the full 30 maps here.
The full 30 rounds could well come out, yeah. Obviously, as you said, CAZ getting a little bit better in terms of economy, just as Infused managed to get that buy. So even if they win this round, they're not going to be set into the next one. It's not going to be a foregone conclusion as otherwise it might have been. And, I mean, CAZ have stepped their game up. We're seeing these guys find rounds on the T side that they just wouldn't have been finding earlier. And a part of that is that they've been changing what they're doing and how they're doing it. Mid control has become a key part of the equation. They're hitting that A side stronger. They're hitting it more often. And so far, it has been going splendidly. If they can find themselves a 12th round here, if they can keep bullying Team Infused and not let that economy build on the CT side, then as you said, they might have fallen at the last hurdle. The overconfidence might have gotten the better of them on those pistol buys, and it might lead to something a little bit tragic, quite honestly. Yeah,
it would be a shame to see them lose this now. And well, I mean, Robin being 17 HP isn't going to be the biggest spanner in the works, but it does mean there's an advantage now towards Team Infused into this round. But, I mean, they've given a lot of mid-control up to CAZ. They're being hoisted by their own petard, as it were. You know, the thing that they were doing to keep them in this, now CAZ are doing the same, and they've got a lot of control as a result. 2 players out in mid, 2 over towards A main, and then you've got Jacob over towards B, just trying to keep the pressure on. He's going to be falling back. Boaster gets tagged down low in towards mid by Mighty Max, so push is getting slowed down here, but I mean, as it starts to come through A main as well, Mighty Max is going to find himself in a situation where he's completely pinned into this corner here, and he should get taken down very shortly. Weber finds one. Boaster and Cryptic, though, do manage to drop the 2 respective Team Infused players over towards that site. It's going to go with a 1-man advantage towards CAZ Esports currently. Aaron gets tagged down low as well. Boaster in with his second frag of the round, and it's all going to fall on O'Connor and Pulse. They have to fall back and save. And it's going to go 12-14, so it's going to be a very close game, Brod.
Yeah, CAZ still managing to find round after round, and honestly, you would have thought with the health they had left in that one, there would have been, I don't know, a little bit of question to it, a little bit of, are Infused going to go for this? Are they going to try and make something happen? But it's just not going to be possible. I think as soon as Aaron died, that's time to back off. They made the right call because their money is not good right now. And, well, you can see CAZ know that too. They're hunting. Of course, nothing going to be coming from the hunt, but it's still worrying. Even with these 2 players sat on full buys, with some money coming in, they're not going to be able to get everything together perfectly. I assume we're going to be missing kits. I assume we're going to be missing full weapons. I assume we're not going to have too many nades because realistically, they just don't have the funds at the moment. In fact, we don't even see them try and buy up behind it particularly. We see a couple of upgraded pistols. Connor picking up that armor as well, but apart from that, it's pretty damn sparse. Fortunately, Weber's still able to find himself that initial frag. The man with the AWP definitely makes it work, and I mean, he has to with the glass cannon. There is no other way.
Yeah, getting that kill early on, getting the getting that 1 kill in at least confirms a 1-for-1 trade. He is glass cannon, like you say, so getting that early frag is going to be very handy for him. Now the push is going to be underway on towards B. They don't check Pulse's position, but he's able to get 1. He makes it 2. He has the potential to make it 3 here. He makes it 3. He's finally going to get taken down by Shaq, but that's going to leave it into a 1 versus 3. And Team Infused, they might have just got their way back into this on a very, very broken up buy. It all depends now. Can Aaron, Mighty Max, and Weber hold on to this? Aaron in from CT with just a 5-7 is able to pick up that frag. And there we go. It's going to go 12-15. Match point now to Team Infused. And CAZ, they are going to be able to buy into this. So, I mean, potential still for this to go to overtime.
Definite potential for it to go to overtime, but still a worrying prospect. When you imagine the buy that Team Infused have, and you imagine what CAZ should have been able to do against that, considering the rounds they'd won previously, considering what they'd shown us over, the last 4 at that point. It should have never happened. We should have never seen that loss come through, and Honestly, Team Infused shouldn't be sat at match point right now, but obviously CS is one of those games. Anything can happen. It's not set in stone. You have the pistols. You can still make them work. And the fact that they did would just mean the win was even more deserved on this map, and the win in the series overall was even more deserved. And I mean, it's one of those special things. And at the moment, you can see CAZ are a little bit scared. They're playing this a lot more passive now because it's their final chance. It's last chance to win. They need to find themselves 3 straight rounds if they want any hope. And they are well aware that 3 straight rounds have been hard to come by so far on their T side.
Yep. Robin is going to get taken down early on, so that's going to leave a one-man advantage to Team Infused, which is just what they needed if they are to take this and be the victors. The remaining 4 CAZ eSport players now over towards that A site. As it does look like the push could be underway. Mighty Max up in this boost spot is able to get one. They don't know that he's there. Does get spotted out by Boaster, but they don't manage to take him down fast enough. He is finally going to get dropped. It's going to go into a 3-on-3 here. Bombs getting planted. The rotate is already underway from Team Infused. They've got plenty of time to try and do this. Aaron's already out on the site. I don't think they saw that coming. He's going to get traded in by Chak. And well, right now it's all or nothing to play for. CAZ, they need to hold on to this round if they are to take it to 13-15. And well, with the work that Chak is doing currently, just playing these angles, he's the thorn in their side as he takes another. And now the crossfire that's set up between him and Boaster means it's going to be very hard for Pulse. Chak comes in with the 4K at the end. Boaster in with one of his own. And it's going to go 13-15. Team Infused, they're so close, they can almost taste it, but CAZ eSports aren't ready to let up just yet.
And I think we're going to have to see it go to 30 rounds. I think Infused are going to have to make the call here to take the hit. And indeed they have 1 set of armor, 4 nades, and they're just rushing out into mid. They know that this round's not going their way. They know that the next round is going to be where it counts, and that makes it all the more exciting. These guys now have nothing to lose in this one, and actually occasionally when you're dealing with pistols, having nothing to lose is what wins you the round.
Yeah, no, we've seen that actually quite a lot. I mean, when you're playing with that, with like the carefreeness and the momentum that pistols can give you, actually, we sometimes see the teams do very well with them. So potentially, Team Infused could look to wreak some havoc here. CAZ, they're keeping a 5 rifles. The momentum is key for them right now as they start to head those players back up in towards A, a strat that we've seen them use, quite a bit, and it has normally worked out for them as they head into that site. All 5 players stacked up here. It's going to come down to Connor and Mighty Max here to try and hold this off. Weber is down towards Highway for the fast rotate up towards that A site. Smoke's going on in, and well, it's abundantly clear what's going on here. Boaster and Jacob find the first 2 opening kills. Weber in from Forklift, trying to do a little bit of damage. Is going to take down Jacob to 7 HP, but then is going to get slam dunked into oblivion by that nade. And it's going to fall into Pulse and Aaron in a 2 versus 5 for the retake. It's not looking good here. And it's going to go to a 14-15 scoreline. Aaron trying to put in a little bit of damage. But that's really all he can hope for now. And I mean, now it's going to be tense for Team Infused.
Indeed it is. They've put all their eggs in one basket, and that basket is this next round. They're going to be able to get a full buy. They're going to be able to get a comprehensive buy. Let's make that very clear. But it's actually, what? Okay, that's worried me. I thought Pulse and Connor were going to have more money than that to work with. I thought this was going to be all guns blazing, everything bought up, perfect round scenario. But as it happens, we're going to be seeing at least 1 FAMAS come out. I'm interested to see what Connor does, because I'm assuming they're going to be getting an AWP going somewhere as well, and he might just have to take the hit and play with a lesser weapon too. And, well, at that point, things can happen. But for the moment, we've seen the match paused, and do you reckon this is a tactical one? Do you reckon Infused have finally taken their tacticals for the last round, hype themselves up, get into it, and then just go out, make it happen, take the series?
It's got to be a tactical. I don't think there's too much technically going wrong right now. I think right now they're sat there. They're thinking to themselves, they've come this far, right? They've got 15 rounds. They're 1 round away from victory. CAZ, they've had to win a monumental amount of rounds in the second half of this game to get to where they are now. And, I mean, for Team Infused to potentially be throwing it away, it would be devastating. They haven't got a lot of money to work with, so right now I imagine they're sitting down, they're orchestrating their strategy, and they're trying to decide the best course of action for this. CAZ eSports as well are going to be taking advantage of this time to sit down, talk about what they're going to do, because it's just as important for both teams right now. Oh my god, my throat just like caved in. Yeah, it's just as important for both teams right now. I'm about to go into like cardiac arrest, so if I do die at any point, be sure to keep on casting, Brod, I believe. But yeah, that unpause is going to be coming in. And so what do you think we can expect to see from this round? And what do you think you would like to see from this round?
I mean, honestly, I'm still trying to decide. Connor's had to take the hit. He's down to a 5-7. He doesn't even have the FAMAS because he decided he'd go for a kit, head armor, and some nades. And I mean, head armor's a bit questionable, but it wouldn't have done a huge amount to help him out. So it is going to be Team Infused with actually the much weaker buy after all. And the way CAZ have been playing so far, we could quite easily see this go to overtime. But again, if they don't find that initial pick, if we see Team Infused start things off well early, then they could quite easily carry it through. At this point in the game, both teams, either team could make something absolutely ridiculous happen here. To me, it would be upsetting if Infused didn't get it because they looked like they were. You know, it looked to me at multiple points throughout the game like it was their map. This was sorted. They were going to be taking it, and CAZ have just come back with something massive. As you said, a monumental amount of rounds, not necessarily in quantity, but just in sort of the proximity of winning them. You know, they've had 2 losses in the past 8 rounds, I think, and that is something special. But they might be looking at a third. Infused coming in big in this one. Pole starting it off with 2. Connor chiming in with 1. We do see Robin take something back, but Aaron's going to be finding himself 2 more to close it out. And as a result, it is going to be Infused progressing to